Okay. We'll make it short and sharp. We're live. So make it
Okay.
short and sharp.
Short and sharp.
Yes. Sure. So welcome to another episode of enLIGHTen with Div and Deb. And today we thought we'd explore conscious parenting. Yeah.
As Div has found me sitting in my teenage daughter's room. She moved out of home 6 months ago, and I was like, can you please come help me sort that room? I would really like to have the room, utilize the room. And she was a bit resistant to this because she thought that it was the final throes of me kicking her out. Come get all your stuff. I didn't want to clean the room myself because I can't tell what has sentimental value to her, what she needs to keep and what she doesn't. A lot of what has remained, lots of stuffed toys on that shelf. I don't know if you can see them. And her snow globe connection. I'm like, take it all to the charity shop, get rid of the whole lot. So she did come over. We had great fun together. All of the things that we discovered, she was shocked how much was stacked and stored in this room. But yeah, it was great fun.
Something that you shared with me just before we went live is that it's been 5 years since you've been inside her room to clean. 5 years. And I thought that was really, really impressive because I don't know any other parents that would say, this is wholly and fully your space. And I respect you to have the space however you want it. She had made the request. Don't clean my room.
Yes, that's right. Yes, when she was 15, just turning 15, she got cranky with me one weekend because I'd been in to clean, or one day, and I had, in her mind, I had been disrespectful to her in moving things where she didn't want them, throwing out some things. You mentioned like a bubblegum wrapper. I'm like, oh, well, that's just rubbish. But no, that's important because her new love at school bought that for her or something or other. I can't know these things. And so she said, I don't want you to clean my room. I will do that. I said, okay, you just put your washing out. So for 5 years, I have only just snuck in on a few occasions to vacuum. But she would clean her room, but not to my standards. And something that I didn't share with you while I don't know if you can really imagine what 5 years worth of dust and spilled drinks and not properly cleaned up kitty litter when she had a cat in here at one stage. And I'm down scrubbing the skirting boards, like really scrubbing the skirting board. And I heard my doctor, my GP, in my head when I first had Tate almost 20 years ago. And I was a more mature woman. I think she could tell I was a bit of a perfectionist, perfectly manicured nails and hair. And I think she was worried that I was going to stress myself, having my standards too high and not allow space for the mess that a child makes. And she said, look, there's one piece of advice I'll give you. There is plenty of time to clean up when they're gone. And while I'm down scrubbing the skirting boards, I'm hearing there's plenty of time to clean when they're gone. I think I might have misheard it. I think she said there's plenty to clean when they're gone. So yeah, it was nice to have given her that space. And really, in the end, I could have been stressing myself all that time because it wasn't clean. Do you know what? I haven't been affected by the dirt. What I have been affected by is what people would think if they saw her room like this. What kind of a mother would they think me to be? What kind of a housekeeper? Because it was actually quite catastrophic dirty compared to, you know, my standards of cleaning. So that if I was going to let something get in the way of me respecting her wish, it would have been what others thought of me.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't let that get in the way, and I'm glad that you did choose to really honor, like, okay, to respect. I can't know what's important to her, and this is her space. This is her space. This is her room, and it's her space, and she has made this request. Let me honor that. That's very mature of you, and that is truly conscious parenting. And I think there's an element of conscious parenting that involves meeting your child, like respecting the wisdom that they have, respecting them as a being that is capable of making their own choices. That is, you know, it's special. I don't know a lot of people that do that. A lot of parents are like, I'm older, I'll tell you, and we'll live by my I certainly grew up with the, you will live according to my standards. You will live according to the way that I want you to live your life. That's what
yes. Rings a bell with me. I remember hearing something like, this is my house, and while you're under my roof, you will do things my way. When you move out and you get your own house, then you can have it however you want. But while you are under this roof, while you are in my house, you will do things my way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I reflecting on that, how disempowering is it? Like I had the opposite experience where the rest of my house was messy and my room was the cleanest room in the house. And for me, it was the only place where I could go and there wasn't clutter and chaos everywhere. It was the only place where I could go where everything had a proper space, and this goes here and this goes there, and that was important to me. And then yeah, if I'm reflecting on how how my brother would, like, knew that credit card, he did not respect. It's different, it's brothering rather than parenting, but to know that a credit card could slide the door open, the lock, pick the lock with the credit card. So he would regularly do that. But, you know, on the topic of conscious parenting, really just respecting our children's wisdom is what it comes down to, would you say?
Yes. I don't know that it feels like wisdom, though. And I don't know that it always, I could be wrong, and I'm sure I am, of course.
Values, maybe. Not necessarily, let me not use the word wisdom. Their values. Yeah. Their values are different. Yeah. Their values are different, and their values are guided by their own sense of what's right and wrong in the world. So that's their own, you know, their own model and map of their world. So
yes.
So
and that. She's my daughter, she is like, what is that breed of bird where they collect things and bring them into their nests, and they steal things and nick them? And
one that, like, the blue, yes, they steal all the blue.
Bowerbird, a bowerbird.
Bowerbird, that's the one, bowerbirds.
Since she was little, she was a collector, and she would be out in the driveway where it's just gravel, right? No special driveway, it's just gravel. You get a truckload of it. And she would be, while waiting for the bus, collecting, this one is special because it glitters in a certain way. And then there'd be another bowl of driveway gravel that is, I can't throw out. But when she was little, I would. Every now and then I would kind of sneak a bowl back out to the driveway. And in this cleanup, there were 2 boxes of rocks. And she's like, okay, I think I can let go of the rocks now. Are they? Yes, I do see they are just rocks. And she took the amethysts and things out of them, and she's like, okay, these rocks can go, but they are a bit special, so we'll give them to Dad. He can perhaps put them, you know, on the top of a pot plant outside or something like that. But the things that she has, every single phone, I'll send you a photo of it, every single phone that she's had from the get-go, there were about 8 or 10 of them, all these dead phones with smashed screens, but she wanted to have the collection for, you know, tracking the progression of her capacity to look after and not get it smashed, you know. So each one of these was her way of tracking. Oh, well, that one only lasted a month, but that one lasted 3 months, and that one lasted 6 months, and I had that one for a whole year. And
That's impressive.
Yes, she thinks it's cute now. She's like, okay, they can all go now. Just get a photo of them. So yes, that being able to respect that somebody else has a different way of operating in the world. Hers is having a visual reminder of the event or the phase or that time. And that's the way she is able to what do I want to say? It's her way of actually being present with what is and honouring, you know, the transition and growth and the moments. Yeah, so I'm glad that I did do that. And even now, making the compromise, please, I don't want to give up my room. I want to go into the world and have my own place and be an adult, but I need to feel like I have a place at home. Go, okay. This is how we'll do this. I'm not me wanting to have the space utilised, and still keep the things that you want stored, so that you have that collection of memories still. Yeah.
That sounds like a really beautiful negotiation. That compromise, that sense of how can we honor what you want and what I am also asking for. You know? Conscious parenting is not that different, that dissimilar to conscious partnering in some ways, when you really, you know, like conscious relating is to respect another person's value system. And you know, look for the places where there can be alignment and synergy, and how can we harmoniously coexist in this space.
Which is a nice lead into another topic about how do I balance my spiritual development, where, well, spiritual principles or ancient wisdoms say, whenever I have a preference and I have attachment, I am going to have suffering to the degree to which I have preference and suffering. And at the same time, here is the real human me who does have a house, who it feels so important to me that things are clean and dust free, and
you might it feels be allergic to black mold as well, you know, like it could also be a health thing where you know there's mold growing, and so I understand what you're saying.
And as human beings, we share the space together, and we need to negotiate the space together, or we can negotiate the space together. And how to, you know, it's paradoxically, how do I be without preference and without attachment, and at the same time honor that I do have preference as a human being, and so does that other person, and they're not always synergistic. So let's come back to having that another conversation another time, unless you have something you'd like to say right now on that.
Yeah, I'd love to explore that more in depth tomorrow, but your hands did it perfectly. Your hands showed them both as being equal weight. Like this kind of, there's this, And it was almost this, we can explore more, but it's this idea of who has a greater need, and then kind of coming to balance a little bit where they're not like, you know, I value what I care about matters a lot more than what you care about. They were so close to each other, and it was this little beautiful kind of like this that your hands did. So
Nice observing.
Yeah. And I think that is it.
Okay.
We'll speak on it more tomorrow. We'll do
Beautiful.
tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back with another episode tomorrow. Bye for now.
Okay. Bye-bye.